Hi, I'm Kim. I'm sharing with you today a refreshing look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So, Maslow began his looking at needs 80 years ago and worked on it for maybe 3 or 4 decades, tweaking it as he went along, and so we can tweak it as we go along. Basically, the things that stand out for me that are still helpful, one of them is the safety and housing. So although you might have shelter, in other words, you might have, shelter in an unsafe house. Oh, hello. Got some birds visiting me. Beautiful currawongs. Distraction there, but what happened for me then is a peak moment. I'm a real bird lover. I'm very connected to birds, whether it's ospreys on a cliff top, or a crow cawing in the early morning, or a magpie caroling. I'm very tuned into birds. So I have these peak moments. So this is something in the hierarchy of needs that you can discuss with your clients. Now, this might be in line with Deb Dana's glimmers. So if you've done any research about the polyvagal theory, Stephen Porges' work, etc., you will probably have heard of Deb Dana. And so again, go to YouTube, put Deb Dana, put glimmers, and have a listen to what she's talking about, because I've just had a peak moment. It's not self-actualization, but I have these peak moments every day, as do your clients, but they might not be aware of it. So basically, we have our needs met down here. Most clients that come to see you will have these basic needs met, but they might not be in safe housing. Yeah, they might be safe, as in someone's not going to rob them potentially, but they might be with an unsafe person in a house. So this could be a child client too. So they're safe away from the bullies at school, but in the house there could be domestic abuse going on. So we can really use this to kind of unpack what is happening for the client. And again, the next one above that is that belonging and connection. Now, initially, Maslow said these things were hierarchical, that you couldn't reach belonging and connection without the ones below. But that is actually not the case, because for example, the client that's getting bullied at school or in the workplace will still have a sense of belonging with certain friends or pets. I think companion animals are very underrated in terms of the importance in our clients' lives. So when I do a genogram, for example, on the first session, I definitely include the animals in that person's life. And connection, like these kind of things are really helpful to be able to say to the client, let's just talk about the connection we've got in the room right now. I mean, when you first came, that connection might not have been kind of solid or comfortable or whatever. What's it like now? So we can use this particular drawing to ask those questions about how is the therapeutic alliance going. And then again, someone might be quite isolated but have a connection to like a horse, or or a grandparent that's passed over that's still watching over them. These prompts, I think, really help us talk about these human needs that the client and everyone has. So self-worth and respect are quite interesting, because we're really into identity now, right? So self-worth is where we're looking at how we talk to ourselves. So we know a lot of our clients have what we call the negative self-talk, which is really an echo decades later from what they heard about them as a child. So the way people spoke about them, explicitly or implicitly, lingers on decades later as a self-worth often. until the client often reaches that. For women, it's like that postmenopausal, hitting the 50s. There can be this awakening to the sense of self-worth that is separate to how people respect you or not. So as a child, unless you were the golden child, you might not have actually got a lot of respect at home. And in a workplace, maybe you weren't valued. And our clients tend to have had these kind of life experiences on repeat. So they come to us not having received respect, but we can use this prompt to say, how about your practices of respect for others? So can you see that Maslow uses this, or he used this hierarchy of needs to kind of look at the deficits, if you like, whereas we can turn it around and invite the client to tell us stories of when they offer respect to others or encourage self-worth in others. Creativity is a beautiful one because a lot of clients might not be artistic, and so they don't think they're creative, but it doesn't take much to find out in what way the person is creative, whether they are great in the kitchen. If not all the ingredients are there for a dinner they want to make, they can combine other ingredients. Or are they creative in the garden, knowing what to plant where and when? So it's not just the artistic things people do. It can be including, putting together a playlist that feels good, as well as, creating other things. Maybe they're good at sewing, maybe they're good at even tinkering with a car. That's creative, to be able to pop the hood and see what's wrong and, go to the auto barn and buy what you need and put that in. That's creative. So your creative needs are being met when you have these opportunities to do something new. But again, coming back to the peak moments and the beautiful currawongs that came to say hello, finding out what it is that your client enjoys. Is there a song that they love that just lifts their heart a little bit? Or if they, like a client told me the other day that they got a real sense of hope in the world when every time they go into the supermarket and they see that little basket that says, "Children, help yourself." So it can be the smallest thing that are these peak moments, and we can invite clients to tell us about these peak moments in their life. It can be as simple as that, when they felt a little bit down and the cat came and sat on their lap, or a conversation with a neighbour over the back fence that was for 2 minutes, but it was a lovely sense of connection and belonging and feeling safe and respected. So again, this particular hierarchy isn't all about, wouldn't it be great if I could be self-actualized? It's conversations about the normal stuff that we're doing, but it's got a structure and it's visual, so it can be quite helpful. I do hope you find it helpful as an opening with your clients.